If there's one mission capable of defining everything that Red Dead 2 stands for, it's Red Dead Redemption. And today, here on the channel, you will watch the most comprehensive, deep, and detailed analysis that I have ever done of this mission. I'm not just talking about explaining the story nor showing the scenes that everyone already knows. I'm talking about dissecting every hidden detail, every alternative dialogue, every micro variation, every choice, and all the consequences they bring. In this video, I went scene by scene and revealed everything that changes when Arthur has good or bad honor. I compared side by side all the dialogues, all the hidden lines, and showed how his behavior completely transforms the mission. And it doesn't stop there. Here you will see the 4 possible endings of Red Dead Redemption, each with its variants, its secret death cutscenes, its exclusive moments, and its outcomes that only appear according to your honor and your decisions. I also delve into curiosities that no one notices, details that go unnoticed in the first playthrough, and small directorial touches that Rockstar placed there just for those who really pay attention. If you're a fan of Red Dead 2, if you love Arthur Morgan, if you get excited with each chapter of this story, then get your coffee ready and settle in, because this is the definitive video about this mission. And we will start with Act 1, the rescue of Abigail. Among the game's over 100 missions, this is undoubtedly the one that presents the most alternative dialogues depending on the player's honor level. And here in this video, besides showing all the possibilities, I will also display each of these variations, starting with the initial cutscene of the mission. In the first dialogue between Arthur, Dutch, and Micah, everything unfolds normally. However, shortly after, we have some very interesting changes in Arthur's attitude during the conversation with Tilly. Check it out.
Miss Tilly. Here, take this. You take this money, too. Take Jack, and you wait at Copperhead Landing for Abigail and Mrs. Adler.
Thank you, Arthur.
You're a good girl. You live a good life now, you hear?
All right, Arthur. I'll miss...
Me too, sweetheart. Me too. Jack, come here. Be brave, son. I'm gonna go get your mama. Mrs. Adler, ride with me. Miss Tilly, here, take this. You take this money, too. Take Jack, and you wait at Copperhead Landing for Abigail and Mrs. Adler.
Thank you, Arthur.
Just get out of here and go live your life. This is done.
All right, Arthur. I'll miss...
Nah, don't start with all that. Jack, come here. Be brave, son. I'm gonna go get your mama. Mrs. Adler, ride with me.
Right after that, Arthur and Sadie start the journey to rescue Abigail in Van Horn. This dialogue varies completely depending on the player's honor. If Arthur has good honor, he shows remorse for his life choices and the people he has hurt along the way. With low honor, he speaks with anger, complains about Dutch's actions, and appears much more vengeful. Check out the differences.
Now he don't care if he orphans his friend's child so long as he gets rich. All his goddamn talk all them years. Seems like it was always a lie. Or he went crazy. What a mess.
Sure. Guess he began to believe he was God or something.
I don't know. I'm sorry you got dragged into this. Into us.
Listen, if you hadn't shown up at my house that night, I'd be dead. And even this bullshit beats dead.
I thought I could find a way get John, Abigail, and Jack out of this mess. Give them a life. Seems I left it too late.
If we could still get Abigail, maybe her and Jack will be okay.
John, Hosea, Mac, Davy, Jenny, Sean, Lenny. We have to put an end to this. All them years.
It's gonna be all right. We're gonna get Abigail out.
Of course we are. Because we don't leave our own behind. That's what Dutch taught us.
Well, seems his mind got changed on that idea.
I remember one time, years ago, he let fly at me for robbing this house. Saying that man was too poor. How taken from him was no different from the system we was fighting against. Now, he don't care who dies, so long as he and Micah get rich off of it.
Vodka's a goddamn sickness.
But John said Abigail knows where the money's hidden. If we can get to her in time, we might be able to get to it before they do.
Let's just get her out first.
Hosea, Mac, Davy, Jenny, Sean, Lenny. Now, John, we have to put an end to this.
When the dialogue ends, the duo arrives in Van Horn and faces several Pinkerton agents. After eliminating several of them, Arthur advances into the city and enters the smuggler's warehouse, where he ends up being held at gunpoint by Agent Milton. This cutscene does not change according to Honor, but it holds a very interesting curiosity. You know that moment when Arthur and Milton fight for the gun, and the action button appears to resist? Well, contrary to what many people believe, nothing changes if you don't press the button. Regardless of your action, Arthur will always resist, and Abigail will shoot Milton a few seconds later, so there's that curiosity for you. Another cool thing happens right after the cutscene, where Milton dies. When the scene ends, the game cuts straight to Arthur on the deck, with Abigail and Sadie, but if you run back inside the structure, it's possible to loot Agent Milton's body. He doesn't carry anything special, just tonics and common loot items. However, the curious detail is that you can take his distinctive hat, which ends up being quite funny. Moving on to the escape, after we escape with Abigail and Sadie, we have a very emotional dialogue between Arthur and Abigail, where he talks about John and finally says goodbye to her. This dialogue also varies according to Honor. With high honor, Arthur emphasizes the importance of women. With low honor, the speech is guided by the feeling of revenge. I'll let both excerpts play out for you to see the differences.
Arthur.
What?
What?
He got killed or he got captured.
No.
I'm really sorry.
No!
Abigail, I was on the train and I didn't see it.
No!
Listen, we got Jack. He's safe. Mrs. Adler will take you to him. But, John, I want you to know this. He loved you. He loved you, and Jack, he did. He wasn't perfect, but he did. Now, you gotta go get that boy. Come on, get out of here.
Arthur, what are you doing?
I gotta go have a little chat before I get much sicker.
No, Arthur.
Don't you owe Arthur me. Neither of you two. Not now. You both know. You're good women. Good people. The best. You go get that boy. There'll be time for sorrow later. Come on, get out of here.
Arthur, what are you doing?
I gotta go have a little chat before I get much sicker.
No, Arthur.
Don't you owe Arthur me. Neither of you two. Not now. You both know. I gotta go settle some things. For me, no one else. You go get that boy. There'll be time for sorrow later.
With this dialogue, we close Act 1 and move on to Act 2, the infamous shootout at Beaver Hollow. But before that, Arthur still has his final ride alongside his best friend. This is one of the most emotional scenes in the entire story. To the tune of That's the Way It Is, we follow a dying Arthur illuminated by a radiant sun as he recalls memorable phrases he heard throughout his journey. And if Arthur has low honor, everything changes completely. The warm sunlight gives way to a gray and heavy setting. The music becomes much darker, and the phrases that come to Arthur's mind are all negative, full of guilt and violence. It's almost as if the world itself is saying that he hasn't found redemption. I'll let the comparison play out there.
That's the way it is.
There's a good man within you, but he is wrestling with a giant.
Really sorry for your son. It's a hell of a thing.
And all you can do now is decide the man you want to be for the time you have left.
You saved my life. You're a good man.
You know, all that ever mattered to me was loyalty. That's all I ever believed in.
outlaws.
I see clearly that your world is not a world from which one can escape.
Please, I have a family, sir. Please.
You speak as if killing was something I cared about. You have turned into my son.
There's a big picture here, Arthur. Trust me.
My pa used to say you stare into the fire long enough, you can see the whole world pass by.
Shine light into darkness.
Arriving at Beaver Hollow, we have that epic dialogue where Arthur confronts Micah with the gang splitting up and Susan getting shot. It is without a doubt one of the most intense moments of the entire mission, but as strange as it may seem, this grand cutscene contains no variation in the dialogue, which is quite curious considering the scene's importance. Still, it holds two very interesting details. The first is that while the characters argue, you can see Pinkerton agents hidden among the trees watching everything. They wait silently for the perfect moment to attack and surprise the gang. It's a detail that goes unnoticed by many people. The second detail happens during the shootout that starts right after. Just like in the case of Agent Milton, we can also loot Grinchel's body. Obviously, she doesn't have anything special, just generic loot items. But it's interesting to know that the game allows you to do that. With the agents advancing, Arthur and John run into the cave. They quickly climb the rocks to shake off the pursuers and emerge on the surface ahead. And here I always had a doubt. What happens if I simply don't follow John and keep facing the agents inside the cave? Well, to my surprise, nothing special happens. The mission doesn't fail. I stayed there for several minutes with my shotgun, taking out dozens and dozens of agents while John patiently waited upstairs. The ammo was running low, the siege tightening, but the agents kept coming non-stop and the game showed no sign of mission failure. So apparently it's possible to stay there for hours. As soon as we leave the cave, we begin Act 3, the escape with John. Right at the start, Arthur reinforces the advice he had given before, telling John to run and not look back. This dialogue does not change according to the player's honor, it always happens the same way. But even though we don't have alternative dialogues here, this act brings, in my opinion, one of the best variations of this mission. You surely remember the moment when Arthur's and John's horses are shot during the escape. It is one of the most exciting points of the entire chapter, because right after that we are treated to that memorable scene of Arthur saying goodbye to his best friend.
Come on, brother. Let's go.
Give me a second.
Come on. Push, Arthur.
Thank you.
Arthur! Come on, Arthur. Let's go.
But there is something that many players don't know. This scene doesn't always appear. It has a prerequisite. And before you think it's related to honor, know that it's not. The decisive factor here is the bond level between Arthur and his horse. For the farewell to happen, the bond needs to be at least level 2. If you're at level 1, the scene simply doesn't happen. Check it out.
Let's go.
Well, what about the money? Abigail.
Despite being a somewhat morbid detail, it makes total sense. It would be strange to see Arthur emotionally affected by the death of a horse he didn't have any bond with. So at this point, Rockstar did a great job. Right after that, we come to the most important choice in the whole game: help John Marston or go back for the money. These are two completely different, exciting and impactful endings in their own way, and they vary entirely according to the player's honor level. And in this video, I will show you all the differences in dialogues and all possible outcomes for Arthur. We're going to start with the canonical choice of ending A when Arthur decides to help John escape. After choosing to help John, the duo rides up the hill amidst a true storm of bullets. Eventually, a cutscene begins and the two finally say goodbye. Arthur gifts John with his satchel and with the beloved hat that belonged to his father. This scene has a subtle but very interesting variation depending on the player's level of honor. It happens at the exact moment Arthur hands over the hat. Check it out.
It would mean a lot to me. Please. Ain't no more time for talk. Go. Here. Just take it. That ain't no use to me now. Ain't no more time for talk. Go.
As John escapes, Arthur is surprised by Micah, and then the long-awaited final showdown begins. Arthur and Micah duel only with their fists at the top of the hill in a brutal fight. This battle features several secret death cutscenes that appear whenever the player fails to press the button at crucial moments. I'll leave them all here for you to check out.
Oh, Blackwood, you don't know how much I've longed to do this. Die! Still got a little fight in you, have you, boy? Die! Trust me, I'm gonna get worse too. I've had about enough. Oh, Black Lung. You ain't gonna reach that gun. You ain't. You lost, my sick friend. You lost, Black Lung. You've lost.
When the fight comes to an end, Dutch appears and interrupts the fight between his two sons. This sequence does not change according to the player's honor. It always happens the same way. But Arthur's outcome, on the other hand, does vary. With high honor, Micah leaves shortly after Dutch's departure. Arthur then crawls to the edge of the cliff, gazes at the beautiful sunset, and finally succumbs to his injuries and tuberculosis.
Come on, Dutch. Come on! Ah!
But with bad honor, everything changes. Micah doesn't leave, he waits for Dutch to leave, and then finally he fulfills his revenge against Arthur. Get ready because this scene is one of the heaviest and most impactful in the whole game.
Come on, Dutch! Come on! You're not better than me, Morgan. Whatever you say, you fool. Damn you. Damn us both!
I don't know about you guys, but this scene hurts me every time I watch it, and as you could tell, in the high honor endings, Arthur dies alone and at peace. In the low honor endings, it's Micah who pulls the trigger, ending Arthur's story in a much darker and cruel way, and this logic continues in ending B when we choose to go back for the money, and it's exactly about this ending that we're going to talk about now. But before that, don't forget to hit the like button on the video and subscribe to the channel. It won't cost you anything and it will help out the channel a lot. So without further ado, let's go. After choosing to go back for the money, Arthur hands his bag and his hat to John, in a final dialogue that does not vary depending on the player's honor. Shortly after, he sets off on a relentless march to Beaver Hollow, crossing the dense forest of Roanoke Ridge under a true storm of bullets. Upon reaching the cave, Arthur enters directly into the cavern and collects all the money stashed by Dutch. With the fortune in hand, he heads towards the exit, but is surprised by Micah, who suddenly appears and stabs him brutally in the ribs. From there, an epic knife battle begins in a cinematic setting illuminated by the flames around. Unlike the fist fight on the hill, this brutal knife fight has only one secret death cutscene, as there is only one moment when the player needs to press a button. Check it out.
Greedy snakes always get killed first. While you're still alive, bye-bye, Arthur. It's been quite a ride.
And one of the coolest things about this ending is that it contains a very interesting variation during the fight, depending on the player's honor level. If you went back for the money with high honor, Arthur eventually manages to land a strong stab in Micah's face, seriously injuring the rat. Check it out.
Oh, you got me pretty good, Black Lung.
This variant is amazing because it has a direct impact later on in the final mission of Epilogue 2 American Venom. In this ending, we will see that Micah is blind in the eye where Arthur wounded him, and there are even alternative dialogues that reference this. It's almost as if the game gives a little gift to the player for their good honor, a very well thought out move by Rockstar. Going back to the low honor version, in this route Arthur doesn't land the stab. On the contrary, the scene starts with Micah dodging the attack, causing Arthur to fall to the ground like a sack of potatoes. The last cutscene of this ending is one of the only ones in the entire game that changes completely. Everything changes, every detail, every line, every expression, even the beginning of the scene. With low honor, Micah lands the fatal stab on Arthur, and the dialogue starts after Arthur manages to land a punch on Micah. Now with high honor, Micah doesn't land the stab at that moment, and the dialogue starts after Arthur bites his hand, in a desperate attempt to escape. That being said, I'll let both scenes play out for you to check out.
Come on now. Let's end this! You're going to die.
Stop this. Just stop this. Both of you fools.
He's turned, Dutch. I told you, he's turned. He came back here to rob you. I didn't turn, Micah. You did. Tell Dutch what you said to Agent Milton. Shut your mouth. You're talking nonsense. You're the rat, Micah. I'm Molly, Dutch. Him. You're dying, Black Lung. Yeah, you're dead. Inside, you're dead. Come on, Dutch. Let's get the money and get out of here. Dutch. Let's go. It's nonsense. Of course it is!
Get greedy, did you, Black Lung? I knew you wanted the money as much as any of us.
Sure. But I also wanted you, you rat. Dead.
Greedy snakes always get killed first.
Why you're still alive?
Still making jokes. Oh, shit. Look what I got and done. Looks like you lost, Black Lung.
I didn't lose.
That winning?
I stopped you. And I told everyone you were right. That's winning enough for me.
Mine!
Oh, Arthur. You damn fools.
I told you, Dutch. That he'd come back here to rob us. Like I said he would.
I came to take what's mine. You rat.
I ain't no rat, Black Lung.
Ah, Micah. You're the rat. Not Molly Dutch. It's him. Him! Kill him! Not Molly. Not Miss Grimshaw. Not even Cole. It's him.
You're dying, Black Lung. And you've gone crazy.
Let him damn us all, Dutch.
Come on, Dutch. We gotta go. Dutch. Let's go. I've never... Dutch! Well... I must say, Arthur... It's been a lot of fun.
As you could see, with low honor, Arthur is much more angry. He yells that he came back to take what was his, accuses Micah of being the traitor, and begs Dutch to kill the rival. With high honor, Arthur also shows anger, but it's a resigned anger. He speaks more calmly, more lucidly. It seems that despite everything, he has already accepted his fate. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we have concluded all the possibilities and alternative dialogues of the mission Red Dead Redemption, the most thrilling mission in the entire game, and at the same time the one that has the most variations depending on the player's choices and honor level. But before closing the video, I still want to show two very cool dialogues that change in the epilogue depending on Arthur's honor at the time of death. The first one happens in the mission Bare Knuckle Friendships. Right after John mentions that he is writing in Arthur's diary, Charles says a dialogue about him. Check it out.
Remember that journal he always drew in? I got it. I'm a bit of a draftsman myself nowadays.
He was a good man. As much as any of us could be.
Getting sick like that has to rattle a fella.
Rattle him or give him some kind of understanding what his life was really all about.
Yeah? That makes sense.
Anyway, I heard all you were dead. Or I might have come looking.
Remember that journal he always drew in? I got it. I'm a bit of a draftsman myself nowadays.
Well, he wasn't a good man. None of us were. But, maybe he was true to himself.
Him and his code. That pig-headed bastard. You get sick like that, I guess you gotta cling to something.
He was hoping to come out of it. Hope was about all he had left. Maybe all any of us have. Anyway, I heard all you were dead. Or I might have come looking.
The second moment is in the final mission of Epilogue 2, when John, Sadie, and Charles are riding towards Strawberry. At the beginning of the journey, Charles shares his insight on what Arthur really thought about seeking revenge against Micah. Check out the dialogues.
Damn right he will. We owe this to Arthur.
You think Arthur cared about revenge? I'm not so sure. Especially not at the end.
He cared about stopping Micah, and that's what we're doing.
I hear you're taking bounties now.
And I hear you're building houses.
Mm-hmm. When I'm not killing old friends.
You're damn right he will. We owe this to Arthur.
Revenge. That might be something he could have understood.
This ain't just revenge. It's about stopping the man.
I hear you're taking bounties now.
And I hear you're building houses.
Mm-hmm. When I'm not killing old friends.
But tell me, did you notice all these differences when you first played? Which ending did you choose most and with what level of honor? In my first playthrough, I ended up helping John with high honor, and now I'm eager to know what your experience was like, so comment down below. As you could see, Arthur's honor level significantly changes the final mission of Chapter 6, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. Honor affects many things throughout the entire game. It alters dialogues, changes Arthur's demeanor, unlocks exclusive clothing, releases special items at the gunsmith, determines discounts at stores, and even modifies small details in cutscenes across various chapters. And not to mention the most symbolic element of all, the visions with the deer and the coyote. Many people have never fully understood what these animals represent, and this theme is so deep. There is a spiritual and narrative meaning of these animals in Arthur's vision, how they change depending on honor, and why Rockstar specifically chose the deer for good honor and the coyote for bad honor. The honor system rewards changes in Arthur's behavior, the impacts on the story, and of course the symbolism behind these creatures that appear in his dreams and in his death. If you enjoyed the video and want to support the channel, you know what to do. Hit that like button and subscribe. And for those of you who believe that Micah betrayed the group only in the last chapters, you are mistaken. I have gathered 25 pieces of evidence showing that he was turning his back on the gang from the very beginning, even before Guarma. Just click on the yellow arrow to watch the full video, which is simply unmissable. And that's it folks, a big hug and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.